Babe, 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 bigger, 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 bigger. I told you not to talk to her. Oh, my man would never speak to me like that. What's up, everybody? It's Shell down here at Shell Michelle with Married to Medicine, Season 11, Episode 10 review. The episode started out with the couples on their trip in Key West, Florida. The couples were competing in a kayak relay race that Dr. Simone had scheduled with Becky, the kayak master. Dr. G started the race off in the lead, and Dr. Eugene blamed it on Viagra. But that lead didn't last too long. Dr. Smurf tipped his paddle board over, and he was lost at sea and had his new wife screaming for the heavens to rescue little old him. Somebody save the Smurf. Please save him. He's so little. He looked like a Yorkie trying to hang with the big dogs. So everybody had a good old laugh on Dr. G. But Mrs. Smurf looked kind of embarrassed. So, anyways, but what did she expect? He doesn't give athletics. So Dr. G flipped again. And in my opinion, their team's chances of winning was lost in the water with his ass. Phaedra and Dr. Jackie were doing their own thing. According to Dr. Simone, they were touring the island. It looked like Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Contessa never really got in the sync. It looked like Dr. Heavenly was half ass paddling and Dr. Contessa was doing most of the work. It looked like everyone would have fun. In the end, the Goldfish team, Dr. Simone, Cecil, Dr. Mimi, and Steve's team won. Thanks mainly to Super Steve. I'm just saying. Dr. Eugene and Toya were in denial of losing. I don't know how. Steve and the gang beat that ass. So then the couples left to get ready for the pool party Dr. Simone had scheduled. Before the rest of the group came out to the pool, Dr. Heavenly ordered herself and Dr. Simone a drink at the bar. They drank and chatted a little before the party started. So that's when Dr. Heavenly informed Dr. Simone that she secretly invited Apollo, even though Phaedra knew, and that he would be making his appearance the next day. Dr. Heavenly also told Dr. Simone her reasons for inviting Apollo and tried to make it sound as less shady and messy as she could. Sneaky heifer. Toya made it a point to say that King is the only man the crew in the group that can have his shirt open. Miss Phaedra gets a knock on her door, and it's her young, tall date Shaq, and he helps her strap up her shoes. Then the couples came out to the pool. They got they drink and they eat on. Then everybody sat to their assigned seats to play a couples game called Vibe Check, which was hosted, of course, by Dr. Heavenly. Then Miss Phaedra and Jamaica Paris walked the runway, eyes on them like, yeah, y'all see us. How y'all doing? Miss Phaedra and her tall man, almost stranger, came to play too, even though they couldn't answer most of the questions. So Dr. Heavenly was really bothered that Phaedra had a date, which seemed kind of weird to me. But okay. Then Toya gonna ask if baby Shaq had his own room. Oh, nosy ass. But he respectfully said yes, that they're taking things slow. All up in their Kool-Aid. Everybody but Dr. Jackie was getting they drink on or whatnot. But Quiet was throwing them hoes back. So Dr. Heavenly begins questioning the couples to find out who knows one another the best. So our first question was, how many dates did you and your partner have before y'all sealed the deal? And Phaedra and Shet said they haven't sealed the deal, so they couldn't answer the question. Dr. Contessa and Dr. Scott said they had around 10 dates because they were doing the long distance thing. And then Dr. Scott said, yeah, because we would see each other every other year, which then Miss Phaedra repeated. And Baby Shet was like, wait, what kind of relationship was that? I don't know. But in the confessional, Dr. Contessa looked like she could barely move her neck with all that hair on her head. Either it was heavy or real tight. But baby girl, that kitchen needed to breathe. But moving on. So Dr. G wrote 30 and chamomile tea wrote 60 dates. They were like they were long distance for a while also. Then Dr. Smurf said in the confessional that he could have sealed the deal in 15 dates. Okay, Dr. G. Okay. Anyways, Dr. Simone wrote 3 or 4 dates and Cecil wrote 6 dates, but Dr. Simone admitted that she gave her little hot pocket up on the first date. And so Dr. Heavenly blurted out that Dr. Jackie waited until she was married, and Jackie said that's why she put 900 dates. And I don't know what Curtis wrote, but all I know is he wasn't getting no action. Well, before they got married, anyways. So Dr. Mimi wrote roughly five, while Super Steve wrote 4 dates, and Dr. Heavenly said, well, y'all don't know each other very well, huh? Dr. Eugene said 3 months, so 10 dates, and Loudmouth Toya said that they went out twice a week, so she wrote 24 dates. She agreed that they waited 3 months though. So Quad and King wrote 30 dates apiece, and the camera played that they was cheating. They was coming up with their final answer while the other couples were talking. But Miss Quad, drunk behind, was about to start playing a whole different game real soon. So then Dr. Damon asked the next question. He asked how would the couples describe their partner's parenting style. So Dr. Simone and Cecil both wrote soft parenting styles. Both Dr. Contessa and Scott wrote hard, even though Scott didn't agree. Dr. Eugene and Toya wrote both just right, and Dr. Mimi and Steve also wrote just right. So Quad and King wrote just right, and Dr. Contessa blurted out, wait, y'all got kids? And then she was like, y'all don't have kids though, right? And Mr. King was like, Heifer, I got a kid. He was like, Dr. Girl, you don't know me. And then they let it be known that King had a daughter. Yep. Stepmama Quad, what's up? Nosy. And how awesome of a father Mr. King is to his princess. And then Quad asked King for that forced I shut them hoes up kiss and got her sip on. Man, that kiss looked so off putting, but I knew what she was doing. Okay, girl. And she said something about him busting it wide open. And from what she saw from him and his daughter, she is very interested in having a child with him. Everybody kind of looked away because they knew how bad um Dr. G wanted a child from her when they was married. But Quad didn't want that. And I see why. But anyways, and now this heifer want babies from this ninja. Well, and then Dr. Heavenly asks how many times do the couples have whoopee a week? So then Quad asks Dr. Heavenly, why was she asking all those type of questions? Dr. Mimi and Super Steve laughed and pled the fifth. Phaedra and Lil Daddy couldn't answer. So they was just looking and laughing at everybody else. Simone said her and Dr. Eugene get busy once a week, and how she proud of that. And Dr. Jean was like, "The devil is a lie." Dr. Simone shouted that she has Whoopi as often as she's asked, which sounded kind of weird, but okay. Cause old Cecil disagreed and said he ain't getting no action, and that heifer was in white. No, that heifer that was in white pants was lying through all her teeth. Dr. Girl, sit down. Dr. Jackie say they get busy one whole time a week, and like Cecil, Curtis told Dr. J, she full of shit. They ain't rocking, and the truth ain't in her. So she tried to knock some sense in his head with that dry erase board for speaking the truth. And then Eugene said, well, you ain't getting none tonight either, player. Then there was Quad and King. Child. Quad and King said they be knocking them boots 15 times a day. I mean, a week, girl, a week. The faces Dr. G and Sweet Tea was making was everything. Dr. G was looking like, oh, okay. Quad, so you going at it 2 times a day and you wouldn't give me none for 3 years. You didn't even let me smell it. Must be nice, pitch. So Dr. Jean says that he was looking back at Dr. G every time Quad would answer a question to see his reaction. And Mr. King shouted, hell, sometimes we get it in more than 15 times a week. Then Chamomile Tea said, somebody lied. And Quad was like, nah, baby, we get down multiple times a day. Little girl, okay. The 15 times a week of Whoopi comment that Quad and King claim they are having, in my opinion, started things off with Quad, Sweet Tea, and Dr. G. When Quad said the 15 times a week is actually on the low end, but it's quite enjoyable. Phaedra and her prom date burst out laughing. So Dr. G and Chamomile Tea said that they get busy 2 times a week, but they get it in more during the fertility window or something like that. So drunk ass Quad chimes in that, baby, y'all need to have more Whoopi because they need a little baby Lungford. And she announced that a baby Lungford is coming soon. Everybody's face in awkward silence said everything I needed to know. Quad. Quad. Hush. And then Yellow Headband shouted out that they're having a big baby shower and that she will be responsible for it. Quad, just stop talking. She didn't. Nope. Then in the confessional, Dr. G says he don't know how she can throw their baby shower when Quad's getting her back blown out 15 times a week. And then Phaedra was whispering to Shet that Quad is Dr. G's ex-wife and that was the reason for the uncomfortable silences. So Dr. Heavenly asked the men what would they say that their partner's most annoying feature is. So I don't know what Toya and Dr. Eugene said, but I know King said that Quad's most annoying feature is that she sleep a lot. That she sleep all the time. She sleep a lot. So Dr. Scott made his way to King, gave him a big daddy's dap and was like, okay, you put that ass to sleep, huh? Quad then made her speech about how God has prepared her for her king. And then Toya said how things were now awkward and made her and Dr. G uncomfortable. Well, then Quad and Dr. G started their back and forth, the little ones and twos. Quad really started feeling herself and her drink, and her and Sweet Tea had their few words, which wasn't much, but Dr. Smurf lost it. He was yelling, babe, 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 be good, be good, be good, be good, all up in that girl's face, like he was scolding a child. I'm guessing in attempts to shut her up from going back and forth with Quad. But his controlling side, which is probably shown behind closed doors, was truly on display. Quad shouted out how her man would never speak to her like that. Oh, child, it was a mess. Dr. Simone let the group know that the hotel sent her a text and that the night was over. Quad let it be known that she is not Mrs. Longford and that she has traded that in to be Mrs. King. Clearly, drunk or not, there is still something going on. Something unhealed, some real unhealed trauma on both sides that clearly showed up. It was Dr. Smurf checking Sweet Tea for talking for me. I cannot. I cannot. Quiet got what she wanted, and King knows she is not all the way over this situation. Dr. Smurf really took his frustration out, and the fact he let Quad get to him on Sweet Tea. So then he stormed out of their hotel room all mad and short. Girl, let him go. He need to go cool off. And that was the end of the episode. Guys, let me know how you feel about this episode in the comments and like the video. Bye bye. Married to Medicine, Season 11, Episode 11. The episode opens up with the couples reflecting about the events that occurred the night before, while Phaedra and her youngin' were playing all romantical or whatever. I guess. Dr. G apologized to his wife, Sweet Tea, for blowing up at her, and then says he thought she was gonna act mature in that type of situation. But I think it's funny when these elder men and women marry these much younger spouses, but magically believe they're going to be acting all elder and wiser when it's convenient for them. That's usually not how that works. But okay, Dr. Mimi and her husband Steve, Dr. Eugene, and Toya all get together for drinks and discuss her meddling the night before. Then Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Simone, and Dr. Jackie all meet up. While Dr. Heavenly was getting her hair played in because homegirl wasn't doing nothing. The fact that these doctors were surprised that Dr. Heavenly was amused by the events that occurred, yet no one else felt like that, shows me a lot about her and how she gets down. Then Dr. Heavenly reveals that she invited Apollo to the sandbar, and Dr. Jackie acted all shocked and surprised. Okay, I think it's funny. Now that Dr. Jackie said how bad of an idea it was for Dr. Heavenly to invite Apollo, now Dr. Simone sees a problem with it. But she was all cool and dandy as a cucumber last night when Dr. Heavenly first told her. But okay, girl. Then the couples gathered on the boat, started their little drink when they unknowingly waited for Apollo and Serene, or whatever the girl name is. The fact that Phaedra tries to play cordial to Apollo's mistress, who he stepped out with, and later married, is a whole lot for me. The shit is trash. I cannot. She way better than me. I could not. I don't play them games. And the fact that Phaedra's new little daddy really downplayed how close he and Apollo and his wife are got me side-eyeing his tall and sneaky ass just a little bit. So everybody was shocked that Shet and Apollo and his wife knew each other. Then the group turn up and get to the sandbar. Simone fell off the boat on her ass. Apollo and Steve get acquainted, and Apollo conveniently leaves out the fact that Phaedra is his ex-wife and baby mother. But okay, Dr. Smurf surprised me and everybody when he was busting out those 25 push-ups right off the cuff. What's up? I'm old, but I'm still fit. Play with it. Get it, little Smurf. Okay. Show them young boys, aka King, that he ain't nothing to be messed with. But he chanted Letitia's name every time he came up, making things weird. Like he was saying, "See, King, I'm over quiet. Letitia give me strength." Okay. I don't know. Or something like that. I know he's an odd little character, just old and odd. Moving on. Also give it to Dr. G for apologizing to King about how he handled the situation between him and Quad. He told King he meant no disrespect. Everything was all kumbaya, but Dr. G had to keep talking, bro. Put his whole foot in his mouth. He told King, I told Quad that she talks too effing much, which is not what he said. Dr. G actually said that Quad had a big cuffing mouth. But I'm just saying. So King then says, wait, I didn't hear that last night. And he's right, because Dr. Smurf did say it. But now the problem has arisen. Now, Mr. King is demanding for Dr. G to apologize to his girl, and how that offended him and his kingdom, or something like that. I don't know. Oh, Dr. Smurf. Dr. G says there was a little bit of responsibility on both parties, and Mr. King did not agree with none of that. Man, Dr. Eugene opened his mouth to say something profound, but ain't shit come out. I don't know what he meant to say, but his words was not wording. So he quickly tagged in Cecil, and Cecil blamed it on Quad's emotions. And Dr. G thought that the beef with King was squashed. So he sat in his seat, unbothered, and puffed his cigar. Then the ladies ambushed Lil Daddy. Shit. While Phaedra silently watched. Simone was the main interviewer. She asked how he knows Shireen. He told her that was nobody business. She asked if he knows Shireen's family, if they hang out with her during the holidays. And he answered yes, he knows her family. And why was she asking so many questions? Things heat up when Apollo came into the ring and airs everything out. Apollo said Shaq told him he went on a speed date, not that he was speed dating with his ex-wife. Phaedra, knowing that Shaq knew Apollo, brung Lil Daddy as her date on the trip and knew Apollo was coming, all came on out. And Miss Cougar was looking a little shady. But all that mess this man put you through, I guess a little get back is a little get back. Girl, do you? Okay, so Phaedra asked Apollo, why was he so worried about who she dated? Then Big Shireen chimed in, Apollo don't give a cuff about you. Phaedra corrected Shireen, letting her know her name is not Faye Faye, and called Big Shireen a bad built bitch. And then Big Shireen and Faye Faye go back and forth with their little yin yang 1-2s or whatnot. And so Phaedra and Jamaica Perry walk off from the madness and judgment. Puppy love. Then things with Dr. Heavenly and Sweet Tea went left when Sweet Tea questioned why Dr. Heavenly would invite Apollo and his wife in the first place, knowing Phaedra was going to be on the trip. They do that little 1-2 yin yang back and forths. Dr. Heavenly looked like a manatee in the Florida Keys when she fell on her ass trying to get up off that float to confront Sweet Tea. Big Mama's tried. She really did. She eventually got up though. Sweet Tea was standing up for her friend. Her friend. Then Steve heard or either saw the commotion coming from the females and Super Steve, he threw on that cape and rushed to protect his doctor wife. That's a good man, Savannah. And then the rest of the men, pretending like they gave a damn, followed suit. Super Steve had to make sure not a hair was out of place or a hand was placed upon his little queen. He's a suitor. Oh, and he bona fide. Okay, Mr. Steve, you go, boy. So, anyways, Dr. Simone was busy trying to calm Dr. Heavenly's sneaky ass, while Dr. Smurf was trying to calm Sweet Tea. Chet and Phaedra trying to calm Sweet Tea as well when King came through wanting to get some straightening from Dr. G. He told Dr. G, hot tea, iced tea, sweet tea, whatever the hell your wife's name is good with Phaedra. We need to talk right now. Mr. King let Dr. G know he was gonna let him slide with what he did earlier last night, whenever. Said, didn't say, or whatever the hell happened last night. But that Dr. G had ran out of mouth minutes when it came to quiet. He let Dr. G know he is not allowed to speak to his woman no longer. Dr. G said, that's cool. I don't want to speak to her anyways. So the problem arose once again when Dr. G told King to let Quad know not to talk crazy to him. And Mr. King was like, nah, I ain't feeling none of that. That man said Quad can say whatever the cuff she want to say. Dr. G was like, nah, not to me. And he had every right. She can't just be talking all reckless. This man's supposed to just be quiet. That ain't how it works. That's just not gonna happen. Phaedra had took Sweet Tea across the Florida-Georgia line, getting her as far away from her husband as she could. Phaedra kept telling Letitia that Shaq, a teenager, Letitia don't know, and Phaedra barely know, he ain't gonna let nothing happen. Oh, okay. That looks suspicious to me. Letitia knew her man is book smart, but he hands slow. She knew her man ain't built like that. She knew she might need to fight, jump in, something for his survival. Faye, don't do that. When King said to Dr. G, he knows about Dr. G and Quad's past. And Dr. G said, yeah, you know about her side or her version of the past. He wasn't lying. Who you know gonna recount the past and they ain't in the best light? While the other person, you gonna make them look like the villain. It is what it is. So King was like, well, you tell me. And Dr. G was like, you'll see. Honestly, Dr. G was feeling a little more froggy when his partners came through. I'm just saying. Okay, say it with your chest, homie. King snatched that shirt all the way off. And like, I'll cuff you up. Quad sprinted to her king with the quickness. She knew Dr. G would have her man, everybody around him locked up, pressing all the charges and gonna make up some. King saw his prey, he smelt that venom, and he charged at him. Dr. G saw that Lion King coming like a gazelle. He was praying his short, stubby legs would take him swiftly away from that danger. But it didn't look like them 60-year-old knees was working good enough because that Lion King was on him. And at the same time, Sweet Tea heard her timid husband crying and sprinted. Homegirl was moving them legs to her husband. Just as she suspected, she gonna have to fight today. And she was gone. And that was the end of the episode. Let me know, you guys, in the comments down how do you feel about this episode. Please like the video and bye-bye.